All right, let's talk about one of those Japanese verbs that just drives everyone crazy. Ao, to meet. I mean, if you've ever been totally stumped by how it changes from one sentence to the next, trust me, you are not alone. But you're in the right place, so let's get this thing figured out.
Okay, does this look familiar? You learn the verb ao. Easy enough. But then suddenly you see awanai or atte. It feels like, where did that even come from? It seems totally random, right? This is the exact moment where learners start pulling their hair out. But I promise you, there's a super simple, kind of beautiful logic hiding behind all of this.
So let's think about this differently. We're not just trying to memorize one tricky verb. We are solving a puzzle. And the best part is, once you get the key to this puzzle, it doesn't just unlock it unlocks a whole bunch of other Japanese verbs that follow the exact same pattern.
And this is really the most important thing to get. The problem isn't you, and it's not even really the verb, avoir. The problem is a system that maybe no one's properly explained to you yet. Once you see the pattern, the why behind all these weird changes just clicks into place, and what felt like a bunch of random rules to memorize will suddenly just make sense.
So, what is this system? Well, we're going to call it the Godan code. The word Godan literally means 5 steps or 5 levels, and that's it. That's the whole secret. These 5 little steps are the key to understanding how and a ton of other verbs do their thing.
And you know where the secret to these Godan verbs is? It's been hiding in plain sight the whole time. It's the 5 vowel sounds of Japanese. A, I, U, E, O. That's it. Think of these 5 sounds as a path, and the verb is going to walk down this path to change its form and meaning.
So let's actually see this in action. It'll make way more sense when you see it. Think of the core of our verb as just the sound a. Now let's watch how it kind of dances along those vowels we just talked about to create all the different forms we need.
Okay, first up is the ah sound. So the U from ah changes to a wa to connect everything smoothly, which gives us a wa. See that? This a wa stem, this is our foundation for making the verb negative.
All right, let's hop to the next vowel in line. We move to the E sound, and the stem becomes I. Simple enough, right? And this I form is what we're going to use to make the verb polite. Are you starting to see the pattern here?
Okay, next in line is the U sound, and that gives us ah. Wait a second, that's the dictionary form. So the basic form of the verb you learned first is actually just the 3rd step in this whole vowel dance thing. Kind of cool, right? And finally, for our main set, we've got the E sound, which gives us the stem A. This one is going to be our key for making commands and for if statements. Now, yeah, there is an O form too, but for today, we're just going to focus on these absolute must-know essentials. So let's recap our building blocks. Awa, I, ao, and A.
And that's it. That is what a go-down verb is. It's just a type 1 verb where the stem literally changes along those vowel sounds to give us different grammatical functions. It's not random at all. It's a system. This is the code we've been trying to crack.
Okay, that's the theory, which is great, but let's see how this stuff actually works in the real world. We're going to take those stems we just made, awa, I, ao, and a, and use them to build the real verb forms that you'll hear and use in actual sentences.
So this table pretty much lays it all out. Look here. You see the negative form? It uses our awa stem to make awanai. Then the polite form uses the I stem to make aimas. And a couple of others just use the plain ao form. See? Each of those stems we found has a very specific job.
Now, there's one little tricky part. Both the if form, the conditional, and the command form use the exact same e stem. So how do you tell them apart? It's all about what comes next. For the if form, you add ba right after it, like eba. But for the command, it just stands on its own as a sharp, direct order. Meet. See the difference?
All right, let's switch gears and talk about 2 forms you are going to hear all the time in daily conversation. I'm talking about the te form and the past tense ta form. Now, these guys play by a slightly different rule. They don't follow that vowel pattern we just learned. They use a special little sound change.
So, the big question, how do you get from ao to ate? Well, there's a really common rule for Godan verbs that end in u. Basically, you just chop off that final u sound and replace it with a ate sound. So, ao becomes ate. It's a super predictable shortcut. It works for other verbs too, like kao, to buy, which becomes katte.
And here's the best part. You kind of get a 2-for-1 deal here. This exact same sound change rule works for the plain past tense, the ta form. So ate just becomes atta. And just like that, you now know how to say meet and how to say met.
Okay, I know that was a lot to take in. So to make sure all of this really sticks, let's boil it all down into a quick little cheat sheet. Think of this as your go-to guide while you're getting the hang of it.
First, let's talk about the super common mistakes. So many people guess a nai for the negative, but you know better now. It needs that wa sound from the a stem, making it awanai. Same deal for the polite form. It's not amasu, it's aimasu, using that e stem. The key thing to burn into your brain is this. Ao is a type 1 Godan verb, and it always follows the rules. So let's just do a lightning round recap of the main points. Number 1, a is a Godan verb, that's its category. Number 2, its stem changes by following that a, e, u, a vowel line. 3, the negative form uses the a sound, giving us awanai. 4, the te form uses that special sound change, turning all into ate. And finally, number 5, that a stem is a multitasker, handling both if statements and commands. And that's it. Puzzle solved.
So there you have it. The verb ao is no longer some random, confusing mystery. It's a system, and now you understand it. And the best part is, you don't just have the key for this one verb, but for a whole family of verbs that work the exact same way. You've definitely just leveled up your Japanese. So now that you've got this one down, the only question is, what verb should we break down next?